Alright, y'all. How's it going? Sunday morning. And today I am thinking about, this is a working artist vlog, by the way, if you didn't know, by the title of the video. But this morning, I just got up, got some coffee, just was sitting there thinking for a little bit. And I just got a bunch of bins to start packing stuff away because we're moving into a new apartment. And I'm thinking about, I have like all kinds of art and stuff. Stuff that, I've been an artist my whole life. I mean, literally since I was in nursery school, I knew like I wanted, like that I loved art, and probably from then till early in high school, I really kept doing art. I mean, I wouldn't, I did a lot of other stuff too, a lot of kid stuff, but I think I did art a lot more than my peers. And I accumulated a lot of stuff, and around early in high school or midpoint in high school, I realized I wanted to be a comic book artist and that this is what I wanted to do for my life. Got distracted and did music for a long time and kind of focused more on that, and then came back to comics, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. I mean, I was always still trying to do comics and trying to do a lot of art throughout all that time. But I got back serious into it, I don't know, like I say, maybe around 10 years ago, I don't really know. But anyways, throughout the years, I've always drawn, always kept sketchbooks and, done different projects, taking different classes, did whatever. I've accumulated a lot of art. I've never gotten rid of much of it. And so I've kept most of it. It's a lot. It takes up a lot of space. There's also a lot of unused sketchbooks too. Not a ton, but I used to, when I realized you could, get them cheap at like Michael's and there was discounts and stuff, then sometimes I would get them, even if I didn't need them. And, one thing about artists is we like to collect sketchbooks, but not always fill them up sometimes. At least that was how I was in the past. Nowadays I don't do that anymore. I fill up sketchbooks, but I still have never gotten through all the ones I bought. And I do buy new ones because there's certain ones that I really like to use. But I think that's going to change because, like I've said before, I'm doing the minimalism thing. My wife and I have decided that we want to really minimalize, hardcore. It's gonna be cozy. We're calling it cozy minimalism because we're gonna keep what we want to keep, but the focus is gonna be on minimalism. So we're doing a lot of different things, and this move is gonna be kind of, we've already taken the first steps, but this is going to be the biggest major first step in really getting into that minimalistic life. We've been throwing tons of stuff away, bringing stuff to Savers. Some people go to Goodwill. Savers seems a little more convenient, so we go to Savers and get rid of our stuff. And we've been giving it to people too. So I'm thinking about my art lately, and you've seen me get rid of my comics. I still have a decent amount of comics. Let's see, it's basically about 3 long boxes worth, and I still buy comics. I bought a couple comics yesterday. A Jack Kirby, here, I'll show you. It's right over here. I did get rid of my kind of, I think I was talking to you guys about, I got X-Men, the new X-Men stuff. I was starting to read it and I just didn't love it. Talking in the Discord, Shell Presto, I asked her like what she thought of like the new stuff, because she's a huge X-Men fan. I mean, I am too, but not she's followed it way closer than I ever have. And she said she doesn't, really read New X-Men anymore, because one thing she said that really resonated with me, and I was like, you know what, I think this is why I'm not loving these stories, is, I like my superheroes to be like superheroes, I want, and that's not what they are anymore, They're kind of, what did they call it? I always I can't think of the word ever, but they deconstruct. They're like deconstructed heroes, and they have all these problems, and it's less about, being the hero, and there's something amazing, really cool about, if you're going to do a superhero story, do a superhero story. If you're going to, and it's okay, you could do other kinds of stories, it's just not what I'm into, It's not, and it's not like I have a bias even towards superhero. Like, tell a good other kind of story, That's fine, but it wasn't that, to me. It was like somebody playing in the realm of a superhero property that I love, doing all kinds of weird stuff. And it was okay, but not really my cup of tea. So I got rid of that little subscription, so I'm really just getting Alterna now. But they didn't have anything that yesterday, so I still got a couple things. If you don't know, I have a Jack Kirby collection. I usually get really worn out Jack Kirby's, so I can get them at a really good price. This one is actually in really good condition, and it was a little bit more money, but there was a sale, so I still got it pretty cheap. And I got this, which I just happened to see, which it looks like it's kind of an homage to old superhero books or comic books, or like Thor or something. And it talks about that it is. I haven't read it yet, but I'll probably read it today. And I talked about how I love My Hero Academia. I'm really excited about that one. So what was I going to say? So we're talking about minimalism. So I still got comics, and I think I may even purge more from my comics. I don't know. We'll see. But I really, got rid of a lot so far. And I'm happy with the amount I have, as long as they're, neatly put away for the most part, and then I can, I'll take them out, but I got to try to keep putting them back. That's the problem, is like I take them out and then I don't put them away. I got to do that more. But I don't know. There's still something about physical comics. So anyways, we already know the deal with the comics, but I want to get rid of my art. And I remember, and the reason why I still have all this stuff, I even still have the stuff I did in like nursery school. I have the folder. There's like all kinds of finger paintings and things like that. And I think I did a video a while back that actually showed some of that stuff. And you can see, some videos where I've done stuff. I have a few sketchbook videos out there. You have to kind of search. I should make I think I already have a playlist of them. I don't know. But anyways, but I'm thinking, I have kind of a couple ideas of how to get rid of this, because I have like this like child's clothing bureau that I keep here. I guess it's got a bunch of empty sketchbooks. It's got a bunch of comic book art, 11 by 17s. A lot of my newer stuff. I've already thrown away a bunch of kind of scrap artwork that wasn't really, that substantial. I feel like I have. But I guess you can see behind me right here is like this pile right here. And it's kind of hard to see, but those are like old art school folders. There's a lot of stuff from art school in there. There's a bunch of other stuff too that I stuffed in there, just art. And I have like a full bin that has a bunch of papers in it that's art, or there's a lot of empty notebooks too, things that I planned to use. I think I threw away a bunch of books of like rhymes, like, because I make hip hop, or used to make hip hop a lot. So I rapped and stuff, and had tons of lyrics. So almost as many books of lyrics as sketchbooks, maybe more, I don't know. I think I threw a lot of that away, but I still have a lot. There's just a lot of paper, and there's no need for it. There's filled sketchbooks too. So I want to get rid of that bureau. I'm not bringing that with me, I don't think. What I will do is probably put whatever I'm going to keep into bins or whatever they'll fit in. But they're going to be temporary. So I'm going to fill up whatever, anything that's substantial that I want to keep, and I'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to put into bins and throw away a lot of other stuff. So I'm excited to do that because I really want to minimize everything. I mean, we're keeping a hold of some of these books, and I want to even get rid of the ones we have. We already got rid of tons. But there's this thing called a library. So it's like, if I really want a physical book, then I'll go to the library. There's also digital libraries, which, once you get access to those, you can actually just read it on your tablet or whatever, which, is something that's another new thing in my life. I got a iPad. You might have seen some new art from me done, and maybe you could tell it was done on like Procreate and stuff, and so I'm excited about that. So that's kind of a big step forward too, of why am I gonna keep this stuff when I can just have it digitized. So that's what I'm gonna end up doing, is I'm gonna keep all this artwork, but what I'm thinking of doing is making like an everything until now art book, and this is almost like a selfish thing. Like, here, I can show you something that somebody else, actually, if you've seen my Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, I put up a piece of artwork of Glyph and Tusk, and that was this piece right here that I commissioned from a guy named Jonathan Rector. You may have seen him on YouTube. He's a really super talented comic book artist. This was done in 2013, because it's dated. And you could tell this is kind of more of his old style compared to what he's still, his style has evolved, but you can still see kind of the lines he did in this. You can still see some of that in his newer artwork. But, he's played around with style. And anyways, this, even though he's changed, this is like amazing artwork that I've loved so much having, and it's been up on my wall in a frame. But I pulled it out so I could take a picture of it and scan it in and color it, because I colored it. And if you hadn't seen that, then I'll try to put an image there if I remember. If not, check out my social media. Marsh Comics on Instagram, Twitter, and I keep saying TikTok, but I haven't done anything with TikTok for months now because I've just been too busy. But it's also Facebook if you're connected to me there, and I posted it just about everywhere, I think. So anyways, I'm really happy with how that coloring came out. Like, that's how, I'll play around with different styles, but I almost am satisfied with always coloring in that style, because I just love that old school comic book dot tone, whatever effects, the retro effects that look like old comic books. And I'm not necessarily being 100% faithful to that process, but I'm making it look a lot like that, but also kind of doing it my own way and a little bit stylistic. And I'm always playing with different methods of kind of bringing those kind of things in and being stylistic with it. So I don't know, I may or may not end up coloring that way all the time, but we'll see. There's a few different ways to kind of go about it, and that's one way that's really satisfying. Like, I am super pleased with how that coloring of this piece of art came out. I'm over the moon about it. So anyways, years ago I bought this from Jonathan Rector. It's pretty thick, you can see, And this is something he just printed on, what is that, Kablam, the Kablam site or whatever. It was like a digital thing, or like print on demand thing. And it is literally just like stuffed with his art. Like, there's so much, there's concept art, there's comic book art, there's pencils, there's inks. And it's not really, there's not much like formatting to it. There's not much like, you know, the type of thing where like there's a picture and then some words and stuff. It's just like straight up art. I mean, it's freaking amazing. And this is all his, like, in his old style. Sorry, this might be a little awkward here trying to show it, but you could see like tons of comic book stuff that he's done. There's like concept stuff. There's a lot of comic book stuff, but there's also just standalone pieces. Sorry, it's really hard to show this. I probably should do it a different way. Here's like some more standalone sketchy stuff. Let's see. I'm like going through chunks. Here's some like more concept-y stuff. Just a lot of really cool stuff. Really cool book. I think he probably still has it up there on Kablam. What's their print on demand service or whatever? I forget what it's called, but he's probably still got it up there. But anyways, I'm thinking about doing something like that. Now, mine's not going to be as impressive. It's not going to have as much cool stuff in it. It's going to be more like, I mean, I'm even going to put like my old art projects and stuff from classes maybe in it. I don't know. I mean, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just try to put good stuff in it. But it kind of would be cool to have all my art that I've done up until now in one book. Like, I mean, I'm not going to necessarily put comic pages in it. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I could have comics that you read in there. You know, so that you can like literally have everything I've made in one book up until now. You know, that, and then my more serious projects that, I mean, those were serious at the time, but they were also, a lot of them I kind of consider almost like practice comic books and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll see. I didn't think about putting my actual finished comic books in there as well. But you know, I just want to collect all of my art into one place so I can have a printed version of it. I can have the digital, you know, pictures I take of it, and be done with it, and it'll, you know, be in one of these and hidden in my iPad or digitally somewhere, you know, or in maybe a few different places. I have to get more strategic about how I'm storing things too, because I actually lost one of my storage things. I have one that's, I think it's like a terabyte, and it would be nice to go through there, delete everything that I don't need, and just fill it with the stuff that I need. So I'll have that backup, and then maybe some digital backups. I don't know. Let me know what your strategy is for storing things digitally. Not only that, but after using Procreate for, you know, a couple weeks now. Has it been a couple weeks? I don't think it's been, maybe a week and a half that I've had it. I mean, I'm already sold. I've already been moving towards digital, you know, obviously with my computer, my laptop, and the tablet. You know, I'm going to put the tablet away, you know, to move, and I'm wondering if I'm going to end up taking it back out. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll use it as a second screen or something sometimes. I don't know if that's even a thing I can do. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's not that like I have any problem with that. I like it. It's a great tablet. But man, Procreate and the iPad is just, I feel like I could do it all on that, you know. So I don't know. I mean, I'll always, flirt and continue to come back to traditional from time to time, but I'm probably gonna basically dive in and become all digital for a while, just because I'm like so into it. Um, and like I'm not gonna probably bring a sketchbook with me anymore. Why bring a sketchbook with me anymore? It doesn't make. It's just a waste of paper. I mean, I'm not saying I won't keep a sketchbook again at some point, but if that's all I have, that's not a bad thing. So I want to make a book like that, more for almost my own purposes. Even if I just print one for me and nobody else wants it, I'm totally cool with that. There's this guy, I think Krishna Siddhasavan. He's an old guy back in the art and story days, and he's been on Lean Into Art a lot. Jersey Droz is friends with him, and the old school kind of. I shouldn't say old school because they're still doing their thing, but there's a lot of people from back then that I kind of, people like Peter Palmiotti and Scott Circlin know these people, and I know that like Kevin Cross and stuff, like he was on the old art and story show, and it's like there's a lot of people from back then that didn't always kind of don't seem to be as much in like doing podcasts and YouTube videos and stuff. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But anyways, I still watch, like, pay attention to Krishna Siddhasavan's Instagram feed. He's just become an amazing artist throughout the years. He already was really cool back then, but like I could see the growth and stuff, and he plays around with this old school stuff a lot too. But anyways, I think it's him that I heard. Well, actually, Jake Parker, I think, does it. I think he made like sketchbooks every year. He makes a sketchbook, mostly to kind of catalog what he's made, so he doesn't have to keep stuff around, or I don't know. But I think Krishna Siddhasavan did that too. Does that? I think he doesn't even really try to sell them. He just makes them so that he has a catalog of what he's done each year, and he gets one for himself. So it's possible. With print on demand these days, there's no reason why you can't kind of collect all your art, every year, and just like inventory it in a book, and have that kind of to look through, and I do still love physical books, so I don't think I'll ever stop having physical sketchbooks, physical comics, physical art books, things like that. But I also am really digging digital too, but there is definitely something special about having the physical thing. So yeah, I think I'm going to collect them, and if anybody, and I'm probably put it on like a print on demand thing, and if anybody wants to buy them, cool. If not, cool. But also I'm thinking like anything that's substantial and decent, like I'm either going to throw away that art, or I'm going to, if anybody wants it, maybe I can, say, pay for shipping and you can have it, or, if you want to give me a little extra, cool, like whatever. But I'm probably going to get rid of a lot of my art too, because I don't want to store it anymore, and I'm trying to go pretty much all digital. So yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts. That's my plans. Looking forward to doing that. Enough talking about this. I'm a little bit tired. I want to drink some more coffee and get to working on some comics. I've been working on a project that I can't really talk about. Just doing some coloring. It's nothing too crazy. It's actually kind of easier coloring project than other comic coloring projects. And then also, of course, working on my little extra things, and I haven't been working on Big Wrath that much, but I'm going to be getting back to that soon, maybe even today, who knows. And yeah, I'm just going to chill out, do my thing, kind of not sure if I even need an art desk anymore. I mean, why have one when I can just sit on the couch and do serious art, you know? I don't know. I do love traditional art though, because like I've been really spending, going through Instagram a lot lately for inspiration and different things, reference, things like that. So I've been really like looking at old, like people who are like traditional inkers, because I do love traditional ink techniques, and I'm actually trying. The reason why I'm looking, like I want to see like the like screen tone, people using screen tones traditionally, and I love seeing like the paper when there's like you can see like the screen tones and you can see like where they've used whiteout and it's a little bit brighter than like the actual paper color, and like, and you can see all like kind of the flaws, and I almost want to like replicate that digitally and play with it traditionally too. Like if I can get a hold of like some old school screen tones, like I think one of the guys on the Kayfabe show, the other guy, not Ed Piskor, the other one, I always forget his name. Is it like Jim Rugg or something, or Jim something? I always forget his name. He's a really awesome artist, but I've seen him and some other people. Like I think he said that a fan of the show or whatever sent him a bunch of screen tones, like old screen tones, so he did a bunch of cool like drawings with them. So those kind of things I do want to still play around with. Like I'd love to, maybe fill a sketchbook with like a bunch of stuff doing screen tones and stuff. I don't know. Or maybe even just do little drawings, and I could even sell them, as like little commissions or something. That'd be kind of fun. But I'd love to still play with traditional ink stuff. I like the idea of like scraping off some of the screen tones and getting different effects, and using whiteout and stuff to do different like splatter effects, and ink doing splatter effects. Like there is something really fun and awesome to just inking. And when I'm doing my comics, I'm realizing that I really love the style of traditional inking, like where you put in a lot of heavy blacks, and they relied on that. Like you can see it here, like in a Kirby comic, look at all those nice beautiful blacks, and they kind of relied on that because the color was so limited. That was part of, that took a lot of work out, and made there be like good contrast and stuff. Whereas now you can do everything with color, and you see a lot more artwork nowadays that is less like that. Like there's still some of that in here. I mean, there's been all different styles throughout the years, but this is that comic. But you can see it's a little bit more contour based and a little less blacks. This one, it's like a nighttime scene, so they're still messing with blacks and stuff a bit. But you don't even have to do that anymore, because you can do everything with color, But I really love that, again, Jonathan Rector, this book is filled with that old school kind of traditional, look, and you see like a lot of blacks. A lot of these are pencils, but he colors in his pencils, which is the way I like to do it too. But you can see kind of both a little bit here, a little bit more contour, a little bit more blacks. I think you get what I mean. So I love the old traditional style, and I think I'm gonna replicate that digitally, because even if I don't need the blacks, that's the style, that's the kind I like of comics I like, so it's just another thing that you guys might find interesting is in my approach to comics. It's easy to just do kind of more contour stuff, and I'm not saying I won't do that, but I have noticed a lot of my illustrations sometimes become that, because I know I can go in with color. But I think I'm going to continue to move more towards doing that traditional style with more blacks, because I just enjoy it. So that's just another little thing. Really loving traditional. I don't think I'll ever fall out of love with traditional. But at the same time, I'm falling in love with digital as well. So it's always going to be kind of a mix of both. But I'm minimizing to the point, I want to minimize to the point where I have pretty much my backpack is my whole art studio. I've already kind of at that point. And that's all I really need. And, you know, anything else is just a little extra bonus. Like I'll have maybe a small stack of sketchbooks that I have kept throughout the years or something. And, you know, just the stuff that gets printed, and maybe a small binder or something full of like original physical art, who knows. Or maybe anything I do physical will just be like a cool bonus that becomes something that I sell, you know, commissions of or something, who knows, we'll see. But even in commissions, like if I do ever end up doing commissions, I mean, I'm always open for commissions, but nobody really asks usually. But I want to do digital commissions. You know, I kind of don't want to do physical because it's just so much easier to do digital, you know, and I just don't want to collect paper. You know, or art supplies, you know. I'm kind of done with art supplies. It's nice to have every possible supply you could want in the palm of your hand at all times. Like, that's kind of cool. So, it's a mouthful. I'm tired of talking. I'm going to be done here. One quick note, I don't remember when I record. I think it's a few days later, half a week or something. It's New Year's Eve. But one quick note, I just had this idea and I've floated it over to the Discord, and if you're part of the Discord you already know, but we're going to do a competition this year, 2020, here we come, and we're gonna kill it. It's gonna be awesome. The Discord it's gonna be the Make More Comics 2020 competition. It's a friendly competition, and it is going to be anybody who's involved in the Discord can be part of it. I'll put a link in the description if you want to be part of it, but basically whoever makes the most comics in 2020 is going to win. It's gonna be so fun, so cool. I can't wait. And we're still working out the rules. The rules and everything will we'll be figuring that out in the next few days or weeks. But starting tomorrow, you better get to making comics if you want to be part of this. Once again, this is for the Discord community, the AAA Creators Discord, which you can find in this description. And this, you can come in at, this is what I'm thinking, you can probably come in at any time in the year and start this competition and see if you can win. Making comics takes a lot of work, a lot of time, so it's going to be interesting, but you just know that the later you come in, the less time you have to make comics, so, and you're going to have to show your progress in the Discord as well, and we're going to have to see you making the comic because we need to kind of have evidence. Now, this is not a competition to be legalistic about the rules. It's more at the end of this year, everybody will win because everybody will have made more comics than they were probably going to make if we hadn't been doing this competition. But we might have some just fun prizes or something. I don't know. It's not going to be like you're not going to win $1 million or nothing crazy like that. It's just a fun, friendly competition. It's meant to be a good thing to build the community, to be part of something awesome, and to just get more productive with what you already want to do anyways, So I don't know, I think it's going to be fun. If it gets to be like weird and stuff, that won't be good. I'm not going to be interested in being part of that, but we will have some rules and stuff, but we're not going to be like super legalistic. We're just going to have fun making tons of comics this year and see who can really knock it out of the park, and it's going to be awesome. So I'm excited about that. Hope you guys have a great new year. I'll probably do more videos about this, maybe even tomorrow on New Year's Day. I don't know, we'll see. But we're going to be discussing it all and working it all out more in the Discord than anything. So check that out. Become part of the Discord, and we can make this happen. It's going to be fun. 2020, let's go. Yeah!